Hey, it's Ted again. This is part 2. On Wednesday, hump day, about 12:30 now. And what we're talking about Bill Maher's comment and why people are so damn deceived. Here's this little piece again.
But you see, I can say that because I'm a non-Christian, just like most Christians. And Christians, I know, I'm sorry, I know you hate this and you want to square this circle, but you can't. I'm not even judging you. I'm just saying logically, if you ignore every single thing Jesus commanded you to do, you're not a Christian. You're just auditing. You're not Christ's followers. You're just fans. And if you believe the earth was given to you to kick ass on while gloating, you're not really a Christian. You're a Texan. All right, thank you very much.
Now, if I was a Christian, that would piss me off. If you're a Christian, Bill Maher, I'm sure, drives you up the wall. And if you were one to say so, you would say, he drives me up the fucking wall. Of course, you wouldn't say that. Because Maher sees something that you can't, and what he sees is your stupid hypocrisy. Oh shit, I just called you stupid. You're not listening to me anymore. Well, let me tell you something. There is something in this country and in this world, and I don't give a damn if you think I'm Alex Jones-ish about this, because this is some shit you need to know about. Those people, that Christian coalition, Pat Robertson, the American Family Association, Focus on the Family, all those lovely people. I used to listen to all of them. I used to be a big fan of every damn one of them. And they weren't like they are now. They weren't. They've changed. Maybe I've changed more than they have. But they have changed. And the change has been so subtle and so quiet and so behind the scenes that nobody that is still in the Christian society seen it. Remember, I talked about, if you watch my other video, if you didn't watch my first video, you need to go back and watch it. Don't watch this first, because I talked about how this guy, Sproul, has been indicted for election fraud, and back in the 90s, he was one of the people teaching religious leaders how to enter the Republican organization covertly. All right. See, they already had a secret agenda. They've already set themselves up as a religious CIA. But behind them is another thing called Dominionism. Now, what the hell is that? Most Christians haven't heard about that. Do you hear Pat Robertson say, yeah, I'm a Dominionist? You hear him talk about some of the things that Dominionists believe, but you don't hear him come out on CBN and say, Dominionism, Dominionism, that is what we want. No, you don't. Because he don't want you, Mr. Christian, sitting in a pew of a megachurch somewhere to know what the fuck he is doing. He don't. Of course not. Because if he did, if you did, you wouldn't do it. You would say, something wrong here. I gotta go pray to Jesus, and I'm gonna let these guys alone. Well, I ain't too damn sure how well praying to Jesus is gonna work, but I can tell you right now, you really should leave these people alone. What is Dominionism? Well, there was an article on PolitiusUSA.com. I looked it up. What is Dominionism? God, Guns, and Greed. That was by Sarah Jones a little over a year ago. And it's an excerpt from the book, God, Guns, and Greed, A Dangerous Path for America. And the author of that book is Leah L. Burton. So here we go. Quote from that book. Dominionism is a Bible-based sect of Christianity that does not represent mainstream Christians in America or elsewhere in the world. This is a very powerful, very well organized, and very wealthy religious political machine that has been driving towards the goal of marrying church and state in America for decades. Who is Dominionist? Hell, who on the Christian right isn't Dominionist? Michelle Bachman, Sarah Palin, Rick Perry, Pat Robertson. If they're not Dominionists, they're being pushed by Dominionists. I'm sure they don't really care for their current Mormon, nominee. But it doesn't really matter because he's rich first and Mormon second. New York Times, an August 25th article of last year, asking candidates tougher questions about faith. This guy says, I honestly don't care if Mitt Romney wears Mormon undergarments beneath his gap-skinny jeans, but I do want to know if a candidate places fealty to the Bible, the Book of Mormon, or some other authority higher than the Constitution and laws of this country. And I care a lot if a candidate is going to be a Trojan horse for a sect that believes it has divine instructions on how we should be governed. And then there's an article on Alternate last August by Adele M. Stan titled Rampant Denial About the Threat Posed by Christian Dominionists Perry and Bachman. To equate Dominionism with a firm belief in Jesus, it says, does a disservice to all those Americans who firmly believe in Jesus, but who also firmly believe in the separation of church and state. To deny the pervasive influence of Dominionism of the professional faith of many, perhaps most on the religious right, is to reveal a breathtaking ignorance of American evangelical theology as it has evolved over the past 40 years. And that is the truth. It has evolved. And it has evolved through the Christian Broadcasting Network and the other networks associated, affiliated, and in agreement with Pat Robertson's 700 Club. Because let me tell you something. I grew up as a Baptist believing that Jesus was coming back someday. He's going to come back and he's going to rescue us. And he's going to set up a new government and a new reign on this earth. Hallelujah. I was told that it was going to be a thief in the night thing. We were just going to go, and all them other poor suckers were going to be left to go through 7 years of tribulation. Yeah. I was taught that. Most people in mainstream right-wing Christianity pretty much believe that. You know what? Pat Robertson does not believe that. Pat Robertson, Dominionists, all these people, our stupid fucking governor, Texas governor, believes in this stuff. Dominionism. That their purpose in life is to create that kingdom on this earth so that Jesus will come back. They are absolutely dedicated to becoming the richest and most powerful people in the world so that they can dominate this world, and then they believe God will send his son back. Of course, they're as full of shit as a Christmas turkey. And you know, Pat, you're a fucking idiot for thinking that. And number two, you're a fucking idiot, Pat Robertson, Rick Perry, Sarah Palin, for thinking that once you get that power, you're going to be able to hold it. Because the guys above you The people in the top echelon that will hold that power will get rid of you so fucking fast it won't even make your head spin. And you are sucking people down by the million by pushing your bullshit hidden behind a false agenda to people sitting in pulpits, to ignorant people, to unknowing people in churches who are just sitting there like a bunch of fucking suckers and taking it and voting when they don't have the foggiest idea what they're doing. It's fake, people. These aren't pigskins. They taste good. They look good. They smell good. But they're not. They're made out of gooey old flour. They're not the real thing. And what you're thinking, and what you're believing, and what you're trusting your leaders is telling you is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And it's about time you woke up and quit being stupid. That's right.